Buddy, how are you all today? Oh, I sat on my teddy bear over here. Poor little teddy bear. This little teddy bear I keep in my studio because it's my kiddo's very first teddy bear he had. Also who's wearing his first little Guatemala cap and one of his first, I think it is his first little vest from Guatemala. And then on here I have my grandfather's fireman pin from Walworth, Wisconsin. So I keep him around with me while I'm working in here. So welcome to Stacy's Art Studio vlog for December 2020. My goodness, we only have one more month. I almost said year within 2020. Seems like every month equals a year this year. But so I was going to do a tour of the studio this month and I never got to it. It's been a busy month. Every month this year has been super busy and complicated like everybody else. So a lot of things have been changing in the studio, in my business realm, and I'm trying to keep up with the changes, and this year has really been a year of transition, and I think it's that way for a lot of people. It's forced new creativity, new ways of looking at how I do things, particularly not particularly, everything in my regular daily life and in my business. And then hubby, he started, he's got a couple of businesses that he does on the internet, and then he works. But he started a new adventure that includes me, so I'm very excited about that. It's at New Mexico Drive. We don't have any videos posted yet, but he's working on them. But you can find him on Instagram and Facebook. So we go to exciting places, or we feel that are exciting here and unusual let me put it differently, unique. We love the uniqueness of where we live. So, and I had wanted to do that, I had wanted to take you guys along on some different, tours in different areas in New Mexico. And now he's doing that, so I'll just refer you to those videos when they're up. So lots of things have been happening, and to go back to my touring of the studio, I've had to keep changing it. It's been changing a lot. So every time I changed it, I thought, okay, let's do a tour. And then something came up and I needed to change it again. But I think it's ready for the next few years the way it is. I ended up taking the end that's behind the camera here and changing that into an office space for hubby, because he's doing most of my technical work for me, and then he's also doing his other things. So ended up needing a space for him, and it's worked out really quite nicely. But that also meant a lot of changes in this side of the studio. And, it has been growing since I moved in here. It was just one, bright white space. And as I've worked in here, as far as like video goes, I've learned that I needed more darkening. So like I have these curtains are new this year and they're blackout, so I can close them up so that the videos look better. And we've added some new lighting up here because I wasn't seeing as well in here. A few years ago, I did the wall here with the shelves, and that's all just inspiration. And that I need the quirky inspiration in this room. The wall over here that you can't see right now is just full, it's my crazy throw everything on that wall thing, which really is inspirational to me. The rest of my house is pretty calm in the colors, and really calm-like. This is, I really go for that goal in my home. But in my studio, I have lots of ideas. This is what's in my head is in this room. So I really do enjoy that. But this year I've added a lot of things like business stuff. And I think I've mentioned that before, or I've done it on a tour and then changed the video. I had to cancel the video and start again. So I've lost track of what I've told you in reality. But this wall I've had to put in a lot of different business items that don't inspire me. So I've had to try to find a balance of what inspires me to work in my funny little world that I create on my canvases. I'll come back to the studio in a minute, but out in the gardens, everything's sleeping. It's all dormant. And I feel like it's a time of rejuvenation for myself as well. I enjoy winter. I don't get anxious to start gardening again during winter for me because I'm focused on this other stuff. I'm focused on expressing myself creatively, painting, organizing, getting some, I wouldn't say rest because I'm still as busy as ever, but it's a time of rejuvenation for me. I think the example of the gardens laying dormant is also a good time for me to reassess and really focus on things here. And this year, I feel like I've taken really big strides. So I'm really happy with my plan that I made last year, and that was garden in the summer, paint in the winter, create in the winter. And as the gardens get easier to take care of because they're, perennial and they're taking care of themselves, and all I have to do is, pull some weeds and water and give them some food once in a while, it will be easier to manage in the summer, and then I'll be able to do a little bit more creativity as well and enjoy the gardens. So that's what's going on in the gardens right now. And I'm just hanging out here, trying to keep up with everything in this crazy world we find ourselves in. So back to the studio, there are a few things that we've added this year. I already mentioned the curtains and the lighting. There's a large screen TV on the wall over here. It's connected to the computer, so I can look at my videos and my pictures in a nice big screen. Happy put that up there for me, which was really sweet. I had to reorganize my desk. I actually had to take it apart and build a new one. So that was interesting. Added this lovely purple chair. It just makes me happy. I don't sit in it much. I don't have much time to do that. But doesn't it look like a great place to sit? I've got my old antique little light here. Got my teacup. Got my little fireplace. So it looks like a great place to sit and read. But I just don't have time for that. Molly's outside barking. She likes to bark, as you all know. But I love looking at this when I walk by. My girl had to come over here. She was on that back wall, but, she doesn't work with the hubby's office space. Later, in fact, later today, I'll probably do it, and then I'll post it in a couple of days. I'll go ahead and get behind the camera, and I'm going to show you all the things that inspire me and why I have them here. And also I'll show you what we've done in the other side of the studio. But I wanted to show you this really amazing chair. So I was having a lot of trouble actually sitting and painting. I was having a problem with my hip and lower back from the way I was sitting. And as you know, I have a bad foot, so standing for too long I can't do. I love to paint standing, I absolutely do, but I can't for long periods of time. So I had a stool I was working on and it just didn't work. So then I tried a rolling looked like comfortable desk chair, and that was no fun either. And then I tried the kneeling ergonomic chair, and that was hilarious. There should have been a video. I didn't think of it. I was like, somebody needs to film me as I try to get back out of this chair. I got stuck in the chair, and the reason is short girl problems. So my legs only go from here to here. They're very short, and the chair was really made for people with much longer legs. So I slipped down and got stuck in it. I was like, how am I going to get out? So I was there by myself. So anyway, I managed to roll out, and okay, this is not going to be ergonomical for me. So it was really funny. I really wish I could share that moment with you. It was definitely a Carol Burnett moment. But my son suggested I use this antique chair that he's had for quite a while. We found it, I believe, at a Goodwill some years ago, and we're like, that's a cool antique chair. So he got it, and it's just been sitting around. But what he had learned about it, so he explained to me what it actually is, because I was like, it doesn't look very comfortable, kiddo. And he's like, no, really it is. So he explained all the details to me. This is not something I found. He found all of it. So on the back, it has a serial number and MetLife insurance. These chairs were specially designed for women who were sitting all day as typists in the 1940s. So this is a highly engineered chair specifically for a woman's body shape, which is truly quite amazing if you ask me. So let me start with this little back here. So it pivots like this, but I'll turn it this way. I think you will be able to see how it curves. It has a curvature right there, and it is shaped perfectly for the small of my back. It's a little bit bigger than my small of my back because I am short, but it works fine. And then it pivots as you're moving. The seat is it has been designed and shaped for a woman's buttocks to sit there, which is pretty cool. This back piece here is really interesting. So it is on a big spring. And then there is an adjustment underneath that makes the spring tighter or looser. So I can't push on it to show you, but when you sit in it and lean on it, it has a little give. Then there's another adjustment that takes this piece here and can make it straighter or lean back. Then there's another adjustment there that can lift this up higher or lower so that this hits at the right spot in the lower of your back. And then there's another adjustment at the bottom that can bring the seat up a little bit, and then it's on wheels. It's pretty much a perfect chair for a woman who sits all day. I'm just amazed, and I've used it for over a month now, and it's really comfortable. All the pain in my hip and back have gone away. And of course, I do exercise and stretching and all that, but the chair made all the difference. And so I have actually enjoyed being back at the studio. As you can see, I still have my snow painting on the easel. I had to take a break from that because I needed to think. This is specifically for somebody, and I wanted to make sure it's really for them. And so I needed to give it some time to think about how I'm going to place something in there that's really unique to them. So I had to put it aside for a little bit. The other one is not in here. The Rose Castle painting, I finished. But I have not shown that to you because it is still drying. And I think another week it should be dry. And then I'll be able to deliver it to the owner. And once they see it, I will share with you. And I hope I still have the video. I just occurred to me, I need to make sure I have the video of the final part of painting it. If that is missing, I will definitely share a little video of it finished and how I finished it. It just occurred to me that, because I lost a couple of videos lately. I don't know what happened, but I did. And that's what happens when you take a lot of videos and you're like me and my brain is like all over the place. But that one's finished. And then I finished a big cloud painting. I think that this year you're going to see a lot of clouds from me. I'm quite obsessed with clouds. Always have been since I was real little. My dad was a pilot. I think I've mentioned that before. A small craft pilot and big craft pilot, but he always had a little plane. And when I was real little, I remember he would take me up flying, and I was obsessed with the clouds, and so he would fly through clouds just for me, and that's a really, really happy memory for me. And so even though as I've grown up, I do not like to fly. My poor dad, you know, he had big hopes that I would fly, but I just think it has to do with my vertigo stuff. I don't know. I don't like to fly. I don't have a fear of it. I don't feel comfortable or feel good when I'm flying. So that's one of the reasons. But when I was really little, we used to fly through clouds, and that's fantastic. And I have studied clouds my whole life and spent a lot of time, because they're just a fascinating thing when it comes to light. I'm obsessed with the lighting of things, as most artists are, because the lighting, when it changes it changes everything. You know, you can look at the same view and 5 seconds later, all the colors changed because the way the light changed. And it's the same with clouds. They can be so many different colors. They can be, anyway, I could go on forever about clouds. So I did a great big painting that's very impressionistic, and I do love that. And so it was really fun to do that, to just release the beast and just go for it, and that was really great. I tried to do a video of it, and all you got was the back of my head and the tag of my shirt sticking out, and you couldn't see me painting. So I'm going to do another one where I can angle it so you can actually see the painting process instead of just my back and the tag of my shirt. And then I've been working on the overlook painting. I actually did that in, I think, in 3 settings, seatings. But I divided all the video up so it'd be some short pieces. I thought it would be interesting for you to follow me through, instead of, you know, just sitting there for, you know, 8 hours or whatever it was. It took this, you know, this painting was about an 8-hour painting, which is kind of fast for this particular size and type of painting. The cloud painting, that was less time because it's more impressionistic and it's really fun to mess with the paint. But the overlook painting is a little more detailed, so it takes a lot more time, but it is one of the things I love doing. Again, that was like a combination of the impressionistic and the dreamy and a little bit of fairy tale, a little bit of fantasy. Those are actually all my favorite things, so I put all of them in that painting. And so we're a little over halfway at this point. Pretty soon you'll be able to see the end of that. So it's been really fun to have a lot of art to show you this month, and then also been really busy off adventuring with the hubby. And then the kiddo, he's doing fine. We're staying in. You know, when I'm adventuring with the hubby, we are staying in the truck, and we are staying in the wilderness. We are not out having any contact with people. So it's been an interesting year. It's forced us to look at things differently, and how to enjoy life differently, and how to find ways to relax, and ways to manage your business, and ways to manage your household needs. Like the kiddo now is all online doctors at the moment. They've put off more of his tests because it's not safe enough for him to go get tests right now. And again, those tests are just routine. So none of them are urgent at the moment. All of his conditions are manageable at the moment. And I'm really grateful for that we have been able to get all of those situations manageable and all of his appointments online. So we're set up to get through this crisis, this time of crisis, without endangering his health tremendously. Like a few months ago, we were able to get the washer dryer set up in the bathroom, and I know you saw all that video in our bathroom. So now we have separate laundry spaces. That was really important for me because hubby does have to go to work. Even though his job has very low contact, he's still, when he comes home, needs to go straight to the shower and get his clothes in the laundry to keep our kiddo safe. So it's really nice that the kiddo has his own laundry space in his apartment, and then we have our own laundry space in our apartment, or our side of the house, so that it protects him even further. So those are, just a few of the things that we have done, and we hope, and so far it's been successful, and we hope that it will continue to be. Anyway, I think that's about all the news for Stacy's Art Studio. What's coming up are a bunch of videos of wilderness that you'll see on New Mexico Drive, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And then, well, the full videos, of course, will be on YouTube. Just like, mine, I can only put short videos on Instagram, so you'll have to go from Instagram to YouTube. I find that a little bit challenging because I know you have to go through my website to get there. So subscribe here. It'll be easier for you. And also I'm working on getting new products on the website. It's a little slower than I expected to get it on the website because I hadn't been painting this summer, and I have switched to oils, which means it takes longer to dry. So I feel like we'll have more products by the end of this year, this winter season, and then by next year I'll have a really good flow and I'll have products available. I have taken a couple of things down. I had some really large paintings that I ended up just rolling up here, taking off of their frames, because of them being a little bit older, and so it's time for them to go ahead and retire. They'll be on some of the older, I'll probably do a page where I have older paintings, and those can be like in like a super sale or something at one point. I wanted to kind of mention that I don't do the Black Friday or the Cyber Monday sales, and that's because I've had a really hard time with pricing. To be honest with you, that's a really difficult place. As an artist, it's very difficult. Like, you don't want to underprice your product so much so that it underprices your fellow artisans. And that's one thing that I think is really important. The other is, I don't want to be outrageous. And then the other piece is how long it took you to do this and what you put into it. That, if I ever charged for that, no one would be able to afford it. So balancing pricing is really tricky. And when I first started, I had very low prices. And I'm glad, because I got a lot of beautiful pieces, I hope, to a lot of beautiful people. And I really enjoyed that. And so many things went all over the world even. And that was so exciting. And then I raised my prices a little bit and things went well. And then I ended up raising my prices to where I felt like they were pretty equal. But they were too high. I feel they were too high. So I brought the prices back down, and I'm going to try to stay at that midpoint. I want to make sure that it's fair to everyone involved. myself, the people buying them from me, and my artisans that are with me. I don't want to undercut them. So that's why the last few years I have not done Cyber or Black Friday sales, because if I cut these prices any lower, then I can't make it. And it's not fair to that, because I need to keep painting. So, and that's the other reason why I started the Fine Art America page, because then you can buy prints at a very reasonable price if you aren't able to buy an original piece. And I'm going to be working on improving the quality of the photos in this year. I'm going to be working on that, but they're pretty good. I've had some people, purchase some things, and they've sent me pictures, and they look really nice. And I have a coffee cup with one of my paintings on it, and I love that. I think it's unique and different. And so go check out the Fine Art America page. It's Stacy's Art Studio, and Stacy Art Studio and Gardens. And then also on my website, there's a page that you can go to that connects you straight to Fine Art America. So it's much more reasonably priced to get a print or a coffee cup or a bag. I had someone buy a little onesie for a baby. That was too cute. So that's what my thinking on the business end and pricing is there. I just want to keep my prices at a point where you can afford them, and then also whatever is much more affordable would be on Fine Art America for smaller pieces, for prints, for unique gifts. Anyway, that's the business talk for December 2020. I hope you're gonna have a great month ahead. I know it's gonna be a rough ride. I think for a little bit longer, but hey, we've made it this far. And I think we can make it a little further. I say grab yourself some paper. If you don't have a canvas, paint on the paper. If you got a canvas, paint on the canvas. And if you don't like to paint, do something else that you love, because it's a good time to focus on that. And hug your babies that are near you, and virtually hug all of your friends. Stay safe out there. Have a beautiful day out there, lovelies.